Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the National News broadcast. We are coming to you live from Rupavahini's news studios. I'm Bilanjali Ananda.
And I'm Siobhan Pereira. Let's take a look at your headlines straight away.
Rice will be issued at controlled price from Maradagahamulla from tomorrow. Paying compensation for crop damages commences. Sathusa reduces prices of several essential items. The Western Governor requests an investigation from the CID over the release of some containers from the customs. 200,000 foreign tourists arrive in the country from the 1st to the 26th of January only. Italy makes an investment of $35 million for Sri Lankan apparel. 32 killed in the US Army helicopter crash. Now for those and other stories in detail on your top story. Rice Producers Association in the Maradagahamulla says that rice will be issued at the certified prices from tomorrow. Chairman of the association, BK Ranjit, stated that paddy stocks of this season are arriving at the Maradagahamulla rice processing zone at present. Chairman of the Rice Producers Association in Maradagahamulla, BK Ranjit, said that following the ease of rain during the past few days, paddy stocks are arriving in Maradagahamulla from about 3 districts. Thereby, the rice millers have started rice production process since day before yesterday. He said that with the new produce, rice stocks can be released to the market under the certified prices. Stocks of white raw rice and Nadu varieties will be issued to the market from tomorrow under the controlled price. He added that by mid next week, Samba, Kiri Samba and red raw rice varieties can be issued to the market.
Paying compensation to the farmers whose crops were damaged by the floods occurred last November commenced today. Now, the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board says that according to the recommendations received from the relevant districts, a sum of nearly 185 million rupees has been released as compensation. Chairman of the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board, Premasiri Jasingarachi, said that about 75,000 acres of crops were damaged by the floods occurred last November. Now, the number of affected farmers are about 55,000. He said that the damages have been estimated and compensation amounts have been finalized. Accordingly, the payments will be made from today. He added that especially the affected farmers in Polonnaruwa, Mullaitivu and Vaunia districts will be compensated first. There are about 9,500 farmers in these districts. He further said that a sum of 185 million rupees have been set aside. The crop damage in the Yalla season last year was also compensated during the first week of January. He also said that this is the first time compensation for crop damages are paid within a very short period in the history. This compensation money will be credited to the relevant farmers' accounts before the 28th of February. Premasinghe Jasingarachi said that in case of any delay or problem in this regard, farmers can relate their grievances to the hotline 1918.
Lanka Sathusa has reduced the prices of several essential goods. Consumers will be able to purchase those goods under the new rates from Sathusa outlets from today. Following instructions from the Ministry of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development, Lanka Sathusa has made the following price reductions. The price of 1 kilogram of imported big onions has been reduced by 10 rupees and the new price will be 220 rupees. A kilogram of flour has also been reduced by 10 rupees and the new price stands at 165 rupees. There is a reduction of 5 rupees per kilo in the price of white sugar and the new price is 235 rupees. The price of red dal, which stood at 285 rupees per kilogram, has now been reduced by 3 rupees. The price of a kilogram of imported white kaklu rice has been reduced by 1 rupee and the new price is 209 rupees.
In today's At the Fact Check feature, releasing of 323 containers from the customs will be looked into. Social media had reported that the customs has released those containers said to belong to a company of the governor of the Western Province without conducting any inspection. Sri Lanka Customs say that weapons, gold, narcotics or anything else imported illegally into the country were not found in any of the containers imported under the name Expo Lanka. Customs have also stressed in a communique that any container having the possibility of losing income has not been released. The governor has been inquired regarding this matter. Governor of the Western Province, Hanif Yusuf, said that during the last few days, baseless allegations have been levelled targeting him. Since it became unbearable, a complaint was made to the CID in this respect. The government cannot remain silent when the defeated parties are continuously making allegations.
Now, more than 200,000 foreign tourists have arrived in Sri Lanka up to 26th January this year. Majority of them have arrived from European countries. Most of the tourists have arrived in the country within this year have been from India, Russia, Great Britain, Germany, China and France. From India alone, nearly 37,400 tourists have arrived according to Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Authority.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri underscored the importance of implementing the Clean Sri Lanka program with humanitarian objectives at its core. Now addressing the Colombo District Coordination Committee meeting held yesterday at the Colombo District Secretariat, the Prime Minister highlighted the program's complexity and its broader purpose beyond environmental cleanliness. During the meeting, key discussions took place on various matters, including the allocation of land for an explosives warehouse in the Colombo district, the future development plan for local government institutions, community empowerment programs and the execution of the Clean Sri Lanka initiative. Additionally, attention was directed towards resolving issues related to paddy lands along the border between Maharagama and Kasbawa, the urgent removal of waste at the Colombo main bus stand and the cessation of unsafe garbage disposal into the Niripola paddy fields in Sitawaka. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri reiterated that the public had voted in the last election with expectations of change requiring the government's commitment to fulfilling those aspirations. She emphasized that Clean Sri Lanka is not merely about environmental cleanliness, policy implementation or illegal enforcement, but also fostering quality in behavior and human rehabilitation.
Now, Sri Lanka celebrates its 77th Independence Day on the 4th of next month. The entire island was conquered by the British in 1815. The ruler of the country was at the time King Sri Wickramarajasinghe. He is the last king of both Kandy Upcountry Kingdom and the entire country. Today marks his 193rd death anniversary. This is a research conducted in this connection. Due to the rift between the aristocrats of Kandy Kingdom and the king, the Kandy Kingdom was conquered by the British rulers. British officer John Darley rule is still controversial in this connection. English army that came to invade the Kandy Kingdom with the help of local leader Kapitipola attempt to take the king into their custody. The king hid himself and later arrested while he was taking refuge at the residence of Pundupitia Gambarala in Kandy. Later, the king was brought to a prison cell in Colombo with all honours entitled to a king. Later, the king was taken to Vella in India by a ship named Cornwallis. By the time January 1832, health condition of the king was declined. The king, who refused Indian treatment, later was treated under Western surgery. Later, the king refused getting treatment from this doctor as well and wanted to have local medicine. However, the ailment intensified and the king succumbed to the disease on the 30th of January 1832, a day like today in Vella. The king was 52 years at his demise. In the night of the same day, the king's remains were cremated at the place near the southern bank of Pala River in Vella. It is stated in the Vella statement that the funeral was held according to the king's last will. Accordingly, the English government conducted his last rituals under Hindu tradition and with full state honours with guard of honours and gun salutes. The place where the king's ash placed set up is named as the Muthu Mandapa. It is significant that after the rule of the king, Sri Rajasinghe, all Sri Lankan social, economical, political and cultural changes started in Sri Lanka following the signing of the Kandyan Convention in 1815.
Minister of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government says that all arrangements have been finalized to hold the 77th Independence Day celebrations in a grand manner. Now, a media briefing on this connection was held at the Government Information Department Auditorium today. Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government, S.R. Lokabandara, said that the Independence Day celebrations have been organised minimizing the expenditure but in grand manner. He further said that the Independence Square premises was selected to conduct the ceremony as a measure to minimize inconvenience to the public. Defence Secretary Air Vice Marshal Sampath Tuyakonta said that about 1,873 members of the security forces will take part in the Independence Day parade. Compared to last year, the number of security force members have been reduced by 1,500. He said that it is entirely a 40% decrease of troops.
The Benji Company Limited, an Italian business company engaged in the production of world-famous apparel brands, have reached an agreement recently with the Sri Lanka Board of Investment. The agreement relates to an investment to the tune of $35 million. A reputed Italian business company invested in the apparel sector of Sri Lanka and later established an apparel factory called Omega Line. The company, which concentrated on the European market initially, invested in more apparel companies later on. Benji Company Limited produced ladies' undergarments in 2006, and by now, Oniver's apparel brand is being popularized world over. Sri Lanka has received a new investment of $35 million as another investment of that group.
My name is Giorgio Montresor. I'm an Italian, and I'm the CEO and Managing Director of both Benji Ltd and Alpha Apparel Ltd that belong to the Oniverse organization, Oniverse Group organization. Oniverse Group organization is an Italian-based company. It's been established in 1986 in Verona, starting with to make garment in a range to have the best possible quality. Oniverse, time being, is a quite large company. The turnover is roughly 3.5 billion. It belongs more than 5,000 stores all around the world. But recently we have also we have purchased a ship chandler, sailing boat. We make a motorboat, sailing boat as well, for make a different approach to the market, to make some diversification. Our shops are in 57 countries all around the world, mainly in Europe and Italy, of course, but also in South America, Brazil, North America, USA, Mexico, also in China, Japan, and in East of Asia.
Benji Company would enter into production based on new technology and quality, along with an increased capacity with a new addition of this capital amount. Imports from China have significantly dropped due to most production companies purchasing Benji products. As a result, the influx of foreign exchange will increase and the outgoing of foreign exchange will be reduced. Assistant General Manager Benji Limited, Kapila Sanjeeva, pointed out that Benji provides a large number of facilities to the members of the company as well as to the society around it in the garment field of Sri Lanka. Assistant Manager Productions Benji Limited, Sahan Pereira, observed the productivity of 32 million has been completed last year and the products are being supplied to 5 institutions in the country. It has been found that the situation cannot be maintained even with 32 million production. Productivity and efficiency of the company has also been steadily increasing. The electricity bill has been in a range of 15 to 20 million per month, and in case any concession is provided in this respect, it will be a huge benefit.
According to the Department of Meteorology, heavy rains exceeding 75 millimeters might occur at most of the places in the eastern, over southern, western and Sabaragamu provinces and Polonnaruwa, Matale and Noreli districts today. Public has been requested to take necessary steps to minimize accidents due to lightning and strong winds along the thunder showers. Heavy thunder showers have been continuing in the eastern border areas of the Central Hills. Noreli District Disaster Management Unit stated that traffic has been completely underwater due to the falling of earth mounds onto the Norelia-Udupusilla New Road and due to the inundation of main roads. Our correspondent reported that school children had to return to their homes due to this condition. Vegetable crops in hilly areas have been completely underwater since the canal which carries water from Bomburuella in Norelia due to heavy rains. Traffic in the Norelia-Ragala main road has also been obstructed as the Galpalama area of the Kandapola is also inundated. The water level of Manikganga has been increasing sharply due to the incessant rains in the Buttala and adjoining areas. According to our correspondents, several culverts across the Manik River have been blocked. Transport remains obstructed. Vehicular traffic have also been disturbed on many roads in the Hanguranketa, Padiyapalalla and Hevahata areas. Padiyapalalla Kandy Road has been blocked at 4 places due to falling of earth mounds, boulders and falling of trees. Our correspondent added that 8 houses have also been damaged. The approach road to Mandaram Nuara tourist zone have also been completely inundated as the water capacity of the Kandura Kade waterfall has also been heavily increased. The Zonal Education Office of Hanguranketa has also taken steps to not hold schools today. Incessant rains are continuing in the Vaunia district since last night. According to reports, more than 300 tanks in the district are in state. In the meantime, the Central Environment Authority observed that air quality index, which exceeded the value of 150 during the last 2 days, has returned to normalcy.
Former Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration, Priyantha Mayadune, who was arrested today by the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, over alleged financial misappropriation, has been granted bail by the Fort Magistrates Court. Accordingly, he has been ordered to be released on 2 personal bails of 200,000 rupees after being produced before the Fort Magistrate. Accordingly, Priyantha Mayadune, who served as an additional secretary to the Ministry of Cooperatives and Internal Trade in 2011, was arrested by the CID officers today. The CID had arrested him in connection with investigations into the alleged misuse of 183 million rupees obtained from the Cooperative Fund for the Isuru Savia commemoration event held in Kurunagala in 2011 to celebrate International Cooperative Day. Accordingly, the CID has been informed that sufficient facts have been revealed where charges can be filed under the clause 389 of the Penal Code after presenting the above investigation details to the Attorney General against Priyantha Kumara Mayadune, who has been an additional secretary in the Ministry of Cooperatives and Internal Trade.
We move on into more local news. Now, the Attorney General informed the Supreme Court today that investigations into incident of attacking with water cannons the NPP female members has been completed and relevant records have been submitted. The female members of the NPP had been attacked by the police with water cannons while they were engaging in protest at the Puldua Junction during the period the appropriation bill was taken up for debate in the Parliament last year. Deputy Solicitor General Madhava Tennakon, on behalf of the Attorney General, informed the Supreme Court today when a petition filed by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya and several others requesting a decision that their basic rights have been violated through this attack was summoned before the Supreme Court. A panel of judges was included with S. Raja, Achla Vengapuli and Arjuna Besekara. The Deputy Solicitor General stated that the police investigations regarding the incident are almost complete and relevant reports have also been submitted to the Attorney General's Department. The Deputy Solicitor General also requested the Supreme Court to allocate a date to inform the next move upon studying the relevant reports. At the time, lawyers of the petitioner's party stated that once the respondents inform their stance regarding the incident on the next date of the case, a decision will be taken whether to continue with this petition further. Accordingly, the Supreme Court ordered the petition to be summoned on the 3rd of April to inform the stance of the Attorney General. 9 persons, including former IGP Deshabandhu Tennakon, OICs of Velikada, Talangama and Mirihana police stations, SSP Nugegoda Division and the Attorney General have also been named as respondents of the petition.
Deputy Minister of Transport Dr. Prasanna Gunasena says that steps would be taken in the next 5 years to provide a more qualitative transport service to the people. He made this observation during an inspection tour at the Peta Central Bus Stand premises. 75% of people in this country use the public transport service. The pliable number of Sri Lanka Transport Board buses are about 4,500 at present, according to them. In order to provide an efficient service to the public, another 7,400 buses are required. The Deputy Minister pointed out that another 1,000 new luxury buses will be added to the fleet in the future. Steps have also been taken to provide immediate solutions to the shortage of drivers and conductors, and recruitments in this respect would be conducted in February. Deputy Minister of Transport and Highways Dr. Prasanna Gunasena observed that as the first program of grading public transport system, the central bus stand has to be developed. Passengers have been struggling in order to find the bus stop in the central bus stand, and we have changed the situation. The living conditions of drivers, conductors and other relevant officials will be upgraded who are employed in the transport sector. By the end of the tenure of the NPP government, 70% of the population in Sri Lanka will be directed to public transport system, which is as low as 14% at present. In the case of train transport, the percentage is 5%, and through the development of public transport, the government expects to provide a qualitative service to the commuters.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that the ambulance service will be promoted further as a wider service. Now, the minister made these remarks participating in a discussion held at the Suasaria Ambulance Service Centre in Rajagiriya today. The minister focused his attention to emergency orders and administrative sectors, call connection unit and several other divisions. It was also decided to make new recruitments and trainings to ease the shortage of staff in maintaining this service. Attention was also focused to the problems faced by the employees of long-term service. The minister said that a cabinet paper relevant to obtain 150 new ambulances have also been presented to the cabinet. There are 323 ambulances for this service. Chairman of the Suasaria Foundation, Niroshan Ratnayaka, and several others were present at this occasion.
The funeral rites of late Mave Sinadiraja, a former parliamentarian and a senior leader of Ilankai Tamil Arusakachi Party, will be held at 3 p.m. on Sunday. 82-year-old Sinadiraja passed away yesterday while being under treatment at the Jaffna Teaching Hospital. The mortal remains of Mave Sinadiraja is being kept now at his residence in Mavitapura area in Jaffna. Born on 27th October in 1942 at Mavitapura area in Jaffna, he had his primary education from Women Karam Vidyalaya and secondary education from Nadeshwara Vidyalaya. He obtained his degree from the Open University later. Mave Sinadiraja, who entered politics with Sri Lanka National Tamil Organisation in 1961, joined the youth wing of Ilankai Tamil Arusakachi Party in 1962. After the assassination of Dr. Neelan Thiruchelvam in 1999, he was elected to the parliament again the same year from the national list. Sinadiraja had the opportunity of entering the parliament again, winning the general elections of 2004, 2010 and 2015. The late parliamentarian has been elected the leader of Ilankai Tamil Arasu Party in 2014 and campaigned on behalf of Tamil community for a long time. His funeral will be held in Jaffna on Sunday. And we have more news from home in brief. Commercial goods export performance has indicated 4.06% increase compared to 2023. It was recorded by December 2024 as $1,042.5 million. The customs attributes this development to the increase of income earned from apples, clothes, tea, rubber, coconut, spices, concentrated fruit, foods and beverages. Admissions for grade 1 in the government school commenced today. The admission are conducted under the circular issued by the Ministry of Education last November. Accordingly, the programs to identify new students are scheduled. A mechanic at Pannavela area in Uvaparanagama, Mr. Padmaseri, has introduced a simple safety gadget that can be used to chase wild animals that cause damages to crops. He says that this gadget can be activated using firecrackers and rockets without causing harm to the wild animals. He says that if a license will be granted for his gadget, it can be provided to farmers at a very low price. A person who has stolen an ATM card and several notes of money from a woman's handbag entering to a shoe shop in Horana has been taken into custody by the police. He was arrested while getting money from a teller machine using the stolen card. A meeting between a group of ADB representatives and Minister Aruna Karunatilaka was held yesterday. They held discussions lengthily regarding the sectors that should be provided with Asian Development Bank's relief loans. The Global Labour Market Summit started in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia yesterday under the patronage of leaders of Saudi Kingdom, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Deputy Minister of Labour Mahendra Jaya Singha represents Sri Lanka at this summit. Attention will be focused on the modern trends of the world labour market, national policies and economic conditions of the relevant countries at the summit. And that's a look at news from home. We'll be back with international stories after the break. Now, a regional jet with 60 passengers and 4 crew members collided with an army helicopter in mid-air near Reagan-Washington National Airport yesterday.
The officials stated that at least 30 bodies have been found so far.
There were 64 people on board American Airlines 5342, which was arriving in Washington, D.C. from Wichita, Kansas. Pentagon reported that 3 people were on the United States military helicopter. Both aircraft then crashed into the Potomac River and no one is believed to have survived. United States Transport Secretary Sean Duffy stated that he thinks the crash was preventable and that there was no breakdown in communication between the plane and helicopter. President Donald Trump said that he had been fully briefed regarding the plane crash and that he is monitoring the situation closely.
Now, the Australian batsmen were able to carry their first innings total towards a mammoth 654 in the second day of the first cricket test between Sri Lanka and Australia today.
Now, this total has been supported by double century of Usman Khawaja and fast scored century by Josh English at the close of play today. Sri Lanka, batting in their first innings, had lost 3 wickets for a mere 44 runs. The match is being played at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. When the match was resumed today, Australia had scored 330 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Jeffrey Van der Say claimed the first wicket today by breaking the highest partnership recorded.
A presentation of new javelin to Sri Lankan athlete Samita Dulan Kodituaku, who won silver medal, establishing a new world record during the 2024 World Paralympics Sports Festival, was held yesterday. The presentation was conducted under the Prime Minister's presence, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya at the Ministry of Education. Samita Dulan Kodituaku, a commissioned officer of the Police Corps of Sri Lanka Army, established a new world record at 2024 World Paralympic Sports Festival in the men's F44 event of javelin throw with a throw of 67.03 meters. Subhashini Niranjala Veerasinghe, sports director of Sri Lanka Army, and Pradeep Nishanta, the coach of Samita Dulan, also participated in the presentation ceremony. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on ChannelEye. I'm Delanjali, together with Shevon, signing off. Good night.